Hey, sorry about that. A just man falls 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So a just, righteous person has a goal. Their goal is eternity in Jesus and becoming a more righteous person and learning, how to please God and who God is. And so when I fail, and maybe I don't take all of my supplements one day and I missed something because I forgot to put that in the container and I missed my charcoal pill that day. Okay. I sought to take it, but accidentally I left it on the counter. Did I 100% succeed that day? No, but 9 out of 10 of all the pills that I needed to take for my supplements, I took them all, but I forgot that one charcoal pill. The point is, I might have failed in that one aspect of forgetting to take my evening charcoal pill, but I succeeded on all those levels. So then the next day I'm going to improve because I'm going to keep leveling up because I want to go to the light. Okay. I'm creating discipline. Rejoice not when the enemy falls, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbles. So don't be mean to other people that are failing, and, just be encouraging. Everybody is at a different level. They're at a different pace, but, we all have our bad days and our bad moments too. So be gentle with yourself and just maybe not having enough patience that day. Rejoice not when thine enemy falls. Oh wait, I just read that. Lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and he turns away his wrath from him. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked. So there's no reward for evil. So people that are evil and wicked, they're going to die. Their death is not a fun death. Okay. So what are we told? Fear the Lord, and that's the way. There shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. My fiance, he died. His light went out because he was wicked and evil. Okay. You can't play evil and wicked and not have consequences. Okay. It's just the way that it is. My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knows the ruin of them both. These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. So if somebody is in some type of judgment, okay, it's hard to respect that person because they're in the place of judgment. And I'm going to give you an example. So when you're a drug addict and a narcissist and you're in active addiction, there's no respect there. I don't have respect for that person because they are completely acting out. They're being mean, disgraceful. They're seeking vengeance. They're being mischievous. They're stealing. They're lying. They're in active addiction. They're using drugs. They're having sexual immorality with many people. You can't trust anything that they say when they're in active addiction. So, it's difficult for me to have respect of a person that's in judgment. That person in active addiction, they're in judgment. Okay. Now, when I open my mouth and I say to that person who is lying to me about being in active addiction and active narcissism, and I have the courage and I have a conversation, I say, hey, I don't like the way that you're treating me. I don't like the way that your tone of voice and how you're talking to me. I just saw that you just took this much money that I had laying on the table and it's not there, and you're lying to me. This is not okay. You set the tone, you set the boundaries, and then you have to stand by those boundaries. And then you say to the person, you are evicted. You have no more power to live here at this time. You need to get your life in order. Here's the name of a therapist. Here's the name of a pastor at a church. You lead them to resources, but it's up to that person to choose to take the action. If they don't take the action and they stay in active addiction, there's no respect there. I don't have respect for them. If they come out of their funk, like my fiance did at times, and then he would call me and he'd say, I'm humbling myself. I made this error. I did this to you. I'm so sorry, blah, blah. Can you help me? Can you please take me to a treatment center? Sure. I'm going when I'm being asked to help a person. I'm going to take them to the treatment center. But when they're lying to the treatment center about what drugs they just took, and they're just lying to me, to my face, lying to the treatment center person, I'm going to be like, I just had this conversation with him and he told me this and that, and I'm sure that there's even more than what he's saying to me, because his track record is he's a liar. Okay? He's under addiction and he's a liar. I'm going to tell the truth. And then guess what? When those drug results came out and all the other things that I suspected were also on the same blood test, guess what? The proof is in the pudding, okay? Like, you can't lie and not be, you know what I mean? Like, eventually you're going to get caught. And then he's like, well, I just didn't want you to know how bad I got. You know, tell the truth. Tell the truth if you want respect. He that says unto the wicked, thou art righteous, him shall the people curse, nation shall abhor him or hate him. You know, I'm not going to call someone who's in active addiction, hey, you're righteous. I'm not going to do that when they're in active addiction. Hell to the no. I'm going to tell them that they are a son of God and that they are, you know, they have the hope for a renewed destiny with the Lord. But until they make that surrender, it's all a bunch of lies. Okay? They have to want it bad enough. But to them that rebuke him shall be delight, and a good blessing shall come upon them. When you rebuke the devil and you rebuke the devil's evil wickedness and his plans, and you say, devil, get behind me, Satan, get behind me, you have no power here, you're not going to be allowed to stay here and run ruin in my home, in my body temple, in my van, in my apartment, in my home, in my land. Like, no, get out. And that means anybody that's in active addiction too. They're not going to be living in me, in my sanctuary. Hell to the no. Every man shall kiss his lips that give a right answer. Now, when someone gives you a right answer, okay, you know, you want, like the prodigal son coming home, you want to love the prodigal son and give them even more, okay? But you also have to be wise, and you also need to seek counsel. When a person is in active addiction, they need a treatment center facility to monitor them and bring them back into a normal state. They need pastoral counseling. They need biblical counseling. I'm not going to be able to do all that and be a girlfriend or a fiance to someone. No, that to play all those roles is too much on one person. You need, you know, a community of people to help people that have really gone astray. And drug addicts and narcissists very much have gone astray. Prepare thy work without, and make it for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thy house. So when you think about it, the first thing that God says is, you know, prepare the land. Now, the first thing is, we all think of land like garden and physically, you know, plow the land and plant seeds and all that. And all that is good, and it is true. But this body temple is your land. That's your first land. And if this body temple, this land is out of alignment, and you're completely overweight, you're obese, you have no control over your appetite, whether that be for drugs, alcohol, wine, beer, pizza, snacks, junk food, fast food. If you are not in control over this body temple and your like go-to is ice cream and potato chips, like you're not eating healthy. You're not providing the proper fuel for your body temple. So your land to begin with is your body. And that means your body, mind, soul, spirit, will, all of that. Okay. So this is the first priority, to deal with you. Then your land outside. Okay. Then building your house. But you're not going to build something until you detox and cleanse it. Okay. So I'm not going to like be like all about, I'm going to, you know, lift weights right now. No, I'm in a detox phase right now. I am excavating, evicting all the parasites, all the enemies that are within me. Okay. So massive body temple detox. Okay. So yes, I'm doing certain things to keep my body moving. I'm doing supplements. I'm eating certain pure, you know, whole foods, fruits, plants, vegetables, plant-based foods and supplements and herbs. But I'm not going, hey, I'm trying to like build up my body at this point. No, I'm tearing down right now. I'm excavating and getting stuff out. Okay? Okay. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause, and deceive not with thy lips. So deal with yourself first, and then people will see by your example what you're doing, and then they ask you, and then you give them information. Say not, I will do so to him as he has done to me, and I will render to the man according to his work. Don't do the revenge. God is the true avenger. God is the avenger. God is the avenger. Let him be the avenger. I went by the field of the slothful and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. Now, if you look at somebody that's really overweight, really obese, their house is a disaster. There is no garden. Their garden is with, all kinds of thorns and thickets, and maybe they have rodents. Maybe their house is a hoarding house or tons of clutter. Okay, that's the slothful. They have not figured it out yet. Okay, they're in a season of not handling things. For whatever reason, they're not handling things. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall was broken down. Okay? God can't give you his utmost protection when you're allowing the enemy to come in. Let me say that again. God cannot give you his full protection of blessings and full army of angels and protection when you are letting the enemy in. You've got to kick out and evict the enemy. You've got to kick out the demons and the idols. You've got to kick out covetousness. You've got to kick out gluttony. You've got to kick out addiction, alcohol, drug addiction, porn, sexual immorality. You've got to kick those things out of your body temple, out of your home, out of your mind, out of your emotions. You've got to do the work. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yea, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travails, and thy want as an armed man. The point is, if you don't take control of your body temple, of your home, of your car, of your space, of all the rooms, of your office, of your paperwork, of your clutter, of your stuff, if you don't have order and efficiency and production and things going smoothly, that means that you're not managing your stewardship. That means you're not managing and stewarding what God has blessed and given you. And when you let all these idols and demons come into your body, okay, and they're wreaking havoc on all of your body organs, they're wreaking havoc in your brain and your mind, they're wreaking havoc in your intestines, your liver, your gallbladder, your kidneys, your adrenals, your movement. If you've got no movement and you sit on the couch and you eat potato chips and you eat pints of ice cream, guess what? You are going to be that impoverished person. The poverty is going to come. Okay? So the point is, we need to be in command of our body temple. We also need to be in command of our home. Okay? We need to have the word at the forefront, and we need to be able to discern what the word is at this season and at this time. Now, I was just reading about fearing the Lord. That is the utmost. Fear the Lord, fear the Lord, fear the Lord. I mean, that's it. So I'm going to stop here. This was part 2. And I am going to move into another video about the Hebrew alphabet. Stay tuned. You're going to really want that one too. And look down in the information to get in touch with me. I do private Zoom calls one-on-one. And I also do in-person in the state of Maryland. So book a call with me and let me know how I can assist you on your journey. So that's biblical coaching, that's life coaching, that's health coaching, that's fitness coaching. And I do have all the certifications, the background, etc. And at the same time, I am here for you to help you move through the obstacles and the challenges that you are faced with. When 2 or more are gathered, the Lord is in alignment. So be in alignment, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.